right now. Woo! Wicked. My name is Morgan Hoffman. I'm one of the co-hosts off Inner Space, off the Space Channel. And I am super pumped to be here. This is my first time at Calgary Expo, and this is a huge stadium. This is amazing. But enough about me. We're going to talk about the man of the hour. Now, before he comes out, we're going to show a little bit of a video, and then our lucky man will come out on stage. But super exciting because I know that Calgary has been waiting for this man to come for the past couple of years, and he's finally here. All right, so without further ado, here's our video to Tom Felton.
Take your stinking paw off me, you damn dirty ape!
Hogwarts. What a pathetic excuse for a school.
Trust me, I was chosen.
Ladies and gentlemen, a warm Slytherin, Calgary Expo welcome for Tom Felton.
A bit warmer in here, isn't it?
Yes. Well, I like that you are done up in your jacket. You came prepared.
It's a touch warmer in here than it is outside, so yes. Thanks so much for the warm welcome, guys. It's been I really appreciate it. I know it's been a few years coming, so I'm really relieved that I got to be here this year, and you guys aren't holding it against me that I've pulled out twice before. So yeah, thanks very much.
Welcome to Calgary.
Right.
Did you know it was going to snow?
No, I had no idea. It was a pleasant treat. Most people have been apologizing for it, but it's quite nice. I've been in California for the last few months, and we don't see too much of that, so
Yeah.
it's very pretty.
You're getting the full Canadian treatment.
For sure.
Yeah. I am a huge Harry Potter fan. I mean, from the books to the movies, let's just say they're my go-to when I'm happy, when I'm sad. I mean, we all have reasons why we're connected to the world of Harry Potter, but what do you like about the story?
Wow, what's not to like, really? I mean, it kind of encompasses so much of what us humans are about. It's kind of a rewritten Bible, I like to think of it, because you have a complete moral compass, you know, and all the sort of facets that are great about human life. Even though it's set in a wizarding world, it has a lot of relatable characters and people and scenarios. You know, love, hate, truth. All the things that make us us, I guess.
Yeah. Well, let's get right into characters then. Draco Malfoy. When you were going in, you know, just auditioning, even just for, you know, Harry Potter, did you have any idea how popular the books were already were and were becoming?
No, shamelessly, I was probably the only cast or crew member that hadn't read the books.
Really?
Yeah, and they had open auditions in England where anyone was allowed to come up and try and audition. So there were thousands and thousands of kids, and they used to line us up. And I never forget my first audition was Chris Columbus just going down the row of kids and saying, "What are you most excited about from the book coming to the film?" Yeah. And I was just standing there as a little sod, not realizing that obviously this question was going to come to me any second. So the kid next to me said something about wanting to see the goblins from Gringotts.
Yeah.
So I just said, yeah, those Gringotts, they're awesome. I really want to see those Gringotts too. And I'm pretty sure he knew I was lying straight away. So that may have helped me get the part of Malfoy. I'm not sure.
Well, speaking of the role of Malfoy, I mean, how much fun was it? I mean, not only are you playing a wizard, which is something I aspire to be.
It's pretty cool.
Yes. But then, I mean, you're like the antagonist of this whole series, and you get to be, you know, explore your dark side.
Yeah, it's great. I really feel like I have the lucky end of the stick there. Draco is such a great character, and he has such a great story as well. It was so nice that we got to spend the first 5 years making him a little sod, basically. And then in the last couple of years, we get a glimpse of why he is the way he is. So it was a lot of fun, and it was really nice to be able to grow up with the character. I started, this picture was probably when I was 12 or 13, and yeah, to grow up with him was a real treat.
Do you see Draco as a villain?
Not at all.
Yeah.
If anything, it's the opposite.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, I mean, it was the sixth film that David Yates said that if we can try and get some sympathy for him, then we've succeeded. I mean, we spent 5 years making him hated, which was quite easy to do, and it was nice in that one opportunity there to get some chance to show some feeling for the poor guy, really.
Yeah. Well, and you definitely felt that with the last two films. I mean, that's really
Thank you.
when we saw that other side and how emotional, you know, your character was and you as an actor. Like, we really were watching you grow as an actor through all the films.
Yeah, that's the irony of it as well. We were young wizards at wizard school. In fact, we were young, pretty terrible actors, learning from the best in the business. So that's nice to hear. I like to think that we grew as performers as the films went on. I think we all secretly expected them to fire us around the third film and get some decent actors in, but they allowed us to grow with it, which was a real treat.
Yeah, well, I mean, the cast alone, I mean, these films had some of the best, most well-respected British actors, like, and actresses of all time. We fangirl and fanboy over Harry Potter and our favorite characters, but were there any actors or actresses that you fanboyed over while you were on set? Be honest.
Well, yeah, I mean, they definitely all of them. The only one that I was, honestly, as a 12-year-old meeting Richard Harris and Helena Bonham Carter and so forth, I didn't know who these people really were.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen their films. Not only did I not know the books, I didn't know the actors in them either. So I was really uneducated. But I was terrified of Alan Rickman, who plays Snape.
Yes.
For obvious reasons, right? He kind of stayed in character a little bit, and he has that incredible deep voice that terrifies kids.
He stayed in character?
He kind of. I don't want to say he's method, but he definitely didn't turn into a bubbly, light-hearted soul. He was pretty dark. Took me about 6 years to get past saying, "Morning, Alan." And actually, he's subsequently one of the nicest guys out there, and incredibly funny. He's got an immense sense of dry wit. So yeah, that was a lot of fun getting over that fear.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can have our favorite movies and our favorite TV shows, but the fandom surrounding Harry Potter, it's just not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So why do you think that is?
It's the million-dollar question, and it's so special. It really is. The fact that we finished, 4 or 5 years ago, and it doesn't seem to be dying down at all.
No, I think
it seems to have touched so many people's lives in so many ways that I think people are just really keen to hang on to it and keep it going. So yeah, it's definitely one of the great aspects of the stories, and the fact that Universal are building more theme parks and there are new attractions popping up. I'm sure there'll be a musical and an ice version. I'm actually producing the musical ice version. No, I'm not. That's a joke. But yeah, it's great that the fans sort of it's ever growing. I feel like it's a rite of passage now for youngsters. Half the reason I hadn't read the books was because reading really wasn't cool when I was 11, 12. Certainly not where I was. If you were seen reading in your lunch break, it was kind of not the thing to be doing. And within 2 years, that completely switched on its head, and suddenly I was the outcast because I hadn't read the books.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that it's inspired so many people to relearn how enjoyable reading can be.
I just think we all want to go to Hogwarts. Is anybody else waiting for their letter of acceptance? When is it going to come? All right.
It's the best place on earth. It's no joke.
All right, well, we are definitely going to get to the audience, so make sure you have your questions ready. And I think we're going to go to Darian. Oh, right here. Darian, let's hear from you.
Hi.
Hello, lovely.
What was it?
Just breathe. It's okay.
The question I had was, what was your favorite scene that you got to act out in any of the movies?
Good question.
Yeah, it's such an impossible question in a way. I should have a good answer for that by now, shouldn't I? I always use the analogy of saying, like, what was your favorite day of your school life as a kid? Because it's kind of like that, where it's very hard to pick one. They were all incredibly enjoyable. I'd say the stuff around the sixth film onwards was really more enjoyable. Doing one-on-one scenes with one of the scenes that I always remember was nearly killing Dumbledore in the tower. To have those actors around us and to be able to do that and enjoy it was a real treat.
Thanks.
Thank you, lovely.
Awesome. All right, so let's go to Kiana, I believe. Yeah, oh, right there, perfect.
Hi, Kiara.
Okay. Hi. Oh my God, okay. First of all, thank you for coming to Calgary.
It really is my pleasure. And I've just sorry to interrupt you, but I haven't done loads of these shows, but I've done a few dozen around the world, and this is not only better than any other one, it knocks every other one out the park. Seriously, you guys.
All right.
You guys should be very proud.
It's worth the wait.
Okay. We met you earlier at the signing, and you were really nice. So why do you always play evil characters?
Good question. I'm not sure. Must be some inner dark child waiting to get out of me. I'm not sure. I know it's a lot more fun. I actually struggle to play characters, I think, closer to my own character. It's a lot more fun when you get to step into the shoes of someone really horrible. It's not very nice to be horrible in real life either. It's not a very warm feeling, so it's great to be able to do it on camera. And for years I had 6-year-olds calling me all sorts of names. Took me a while to learn that they were compliments, but yeah.
Do you still get that reaction from people thinking that you're actually Draco?
Yeah, a lot of kids get freaked out. They're actually more freaked out by friendliness. You know, they almost want you to be like Draco. If you come up and say, "Hi, kids, nice to meet you," they're like,
almost like,
"Oh my God, yeah." It really freaks them out. So yeah, it's always fun.
All right, let's hear from Sue.
Hi.
Hey, Sue.
Anyways, so I know that you've heard of the musical, the Harry Potter musical, where a lady named Lauren Lopez plays you.
She does it marvelously.
She
Yeah.
really does, right? So I was wondering, that is a great adaptation. So I'm wondering if there's any other projects, like turning, the book of Harry Potter into the movie, or turning the movie into a musical. What would you want to adapt into a different form?
Great
I
question.
mean, I've already spoiled it with my ice fantasy. The operatic version, perhaps. I don't know. This one of the great things that's come from Harry Potter is, as a byproduct, people have wanted to create their own stuff. A lot of people have written stories or fan fiction, which some of the directions that they take the characters are slightly questionable. And the pictures were definitely unnecessary, but it's amazing, and I'm always very supportive that people want to create their own stuff. So Harry Potter is such an open tablet, really. We could go in any direction for it, but yeah, if it's going to be anything, it's got to be the ice show, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Who doesn't want to see Harry Potter on ice? Come on.
Yeah, well, come on.
Thanks, lovely.
All right, it's Lola, I believe.
Hey, Lola.
I was wondering, what is the most,
Oh, there we are.
Where are you, my love?
over here.
Hey, all right, we see you. You lost behind the camera a sec.
I was wondering, what is the most meaningful thing that you learned from Harry Potter?
Wow. Yeah, that's deep. I guess I learned a lot about how to interact with people. One of the nice things about it is we had so many different people coming to visit the sets. Actors or children that don't have very long to live. Really sort of wide varieties of people coming. And I think unconsciously, I watched a lot of the other actors and the other people who are around us interact and talk to them. And that's one of the nice things about you saying about the actors earlier, is it's not only what you learn on screen from the actors, it's actually more about what it is off screen. Alan Rickman's a great example where he will refuse to have anyone else get his lunch. Every other actor pretty much has someone else go and get their lunch, and they sit and wait for it to come to them. But every day, Alan Rickman in costume, holding his lunch tray, goblin in front of him, plasterer behind him, and that was a sight that I never lost in my mind. But yeah, lots of valuable lessons.
As if Snape couldn't get any better. Was it strange, spending 10 years of your life and very formative years of your life to all of a sudden, it's the end of it's the 8th film, and then you're out into the world, and you don't have that set schedule. Was that strange transitioning outside of the world of Harry Potter?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I guess it makes you think, what's next?
Yeah.
And one of the nice things about Harry Potter is that we would say goodbye to each other every year, and then 2 months later we'd be back in a room, sort of reading the next script.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a treat. Just going back as well, it just reminded me of something about Alan once again.
All right.
One of the greatest things that he did was when we had kids come into set, everyone generally made an effort to be as polite and nice as possible. I've already told you that kids get freaked out when I was being overtly nice to them. Alan stayed in character with the people. So he would go up to the children and be like, "Tuck your shirt in, boy." And the kids loved it. I thought, oh my God, they're going to get really upset. But the kids got such a kick out of him being Snape.
That's awesome. Okay, I think we're going to hear from Hannah. There she is.
Hi.
Hi, Hannah.
First of all, I love you.
I love you all too. Thank you.
And I was wondering who your favorite actor to hang out offset during your filming of the Harry Potter series was.
Good question.
Yeah, I mean, they all had their charms and attributes. Daniel Radcliffe, he was a huge joker, so we had a lot of fun with him. He never took himself too seriously, which was good. Michael Gambon, who played Dumbledore, he's definitely one of the most fun. Not only does he not take himself seriously, he takes nothing seriously. He's constantly trying to find places to find humor. In fact, I remember the scene that I was talking about, the one with the attempted murder of him. And I kept fumbling up my line. I only had like a couple, but I was quite nervous on the day, and I kept messing it up. And finally we went outside for a breather, and I said, "I'm so sorry, Michael. I'm just a little bit nervous, and I promise you it won't happen again." Oh. He said, "Are you kidding? Do you know how much I'm getting paid per hour?" He's like, "If you keep messing up, I'll be able to buy a new car by tomorrow." So, which immediately took everything out of my, nervousness and made me realize that, well, if he's joking around, then I should be too. So that was a valuable lesson.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you, lovely.
Okay, and I believe we have Jacqueline, she's over there on the left side. Yep.
I gotcha. Hi, Jacqueline.
Hi. I know somebody already asked you about a Harry Potter musical, but have you seen it yourself or the sequel?
There's a sequel?
Yes.
I have.
John Walker as Umbridge.
Wow. I have seen the original. It was a long time ago, and kind of in stints, actually. I think I watched it on a plane and burst out laughing several times. But it's amazing. I've met the cast. I haven't actually met. It's Lauren, right? Lauren Lopez.
Yeah.
Or Laura. Sorry, I forget. But I've met lots of the other guys, and they're a really fun bunch. It's great to see what's become of that. A lot of them have gone off to do other things, and another example of how probably what was a pretty silly idea to start with turned into something epic.
Also, the other day, my friends were at your autograph signing, and they asked you to say Potter in an American accent, and they would like to apologize for pissing you off.
I promise you, no one pissed me off. You want to hear it?
Yes?
Potter. It sounds wrong in American, I don't know why. I'll stick to Potter, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, Hannah.
First of all, you are probably my favorite villain on all movies.
Thank you very much. That means a lot.
And also, what was probably the funniest moment that you got caught on set for doing?
I got caught doing a lot.
Do tell.
There's a rumor about the robes. The robes had these huge pockets. And the rumor was that they sewed them up after the third film because I was sneaking food and drink onto set. And I want to clear this up because that is absolutely true. I think the other kids started to follow suit. And then the wardrobe would put their hand in afterwards, and it's just chocolate and sweets and all sorts of crap. So yeah, that was one of them. One of the ones more poignantly, going back to Alan again, Christ, he wore a very long cloak, and I think actually it was his idea to say, I want a few meters of drag on the floor, so when he walked there was a bit of a sweeping. Yeah. And one of the last scenes of the sixth film, after Dumbledore's demise, the sort of evil clan are leaving. We exit through the Great Hall, and we're sort of in this sort of like V formation, like the geese fly in the. Anyway, the director wanted me to walk as close behind Alan as possible. You can see where this is going. And before the take, Alan turned around in his joke ways and said, "Don't step on my effing cloak." And he didn't smile. The rest of me and the Death Eaters kind of looked at each other and was like, was he joking? I don't know. Nonetheless, take one. I stand straight on. We're walking quite fast, and I stand on it full stead, and it's connected to his neck. So it ripped him back, and all I could do was laugh. I was like, "I'm so sorry." And he didn't smile or laugh. But I think he forgave me for it at a later date.
I also have just one other question.
Sure.
Who would you play if they remade Harry Potter?
Yes, I have given that some thought, and I always thought I'd be a brilliant Hermione, so... Right? Have some support there. No, honestly, I couldn't see myself playing anyone other than Hagrid. I'm very attached to Draco, so maybe in 20 years, if they came back and did it again, a 4D scratch and sniff version or whatever, I could play Lucius. That'd be fun.
Other than Snape, was there another character that you really connected with in terms of when you'd watch the films back?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, literally everyone. There was not a single person on there that I didn't feel like we had some connection or lessons with. Jason Isaacs, who plays my dad, he definitely taught me a lot. He plays Lucius. He was very instrumental in teaching me how to be a great villain.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a charming, lovely guy, and he'd be telling you a story about some obscure thing that he did a few weekends ago, and usually when they say like rolling on a film set, it means everyone quiet, everyone get ready. Some actors do weird exercises to get themselves prepared for the scene. He just keeps talking. And then the moment they say action, he just turns into the biggest arse you've ever met. And it was really stunning to watch that.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. All right, Connor. Wait.
Hey, Connor.
What was your favorite scene for each and every one of the 7 movies?
Crikey, mate, we only have... wow, where do I start? I had a lot of fun in the first 5 films playing the typical Malfoy, generally standing at the back of the room and sneering miserably. I had great fun turning into a ferret. I don't know if you remember that, but that took months of preparation on my behalf.
You had to study ferrets?
Yes, it's a talent that I still have that one. I shan't do it now because it's very exhausting. It's very tough for me to go film by film, but we had a great duel in the second film. You remember the Chamber of Secrets? Harry and I had a duel on the long table where they rigged us up with wires and pulled us all over the place, so that was a lot of fun. And in the 6th film, Daniel and I had a fight in the bathroom, which was a lot of fun. And without spoiling anything too much, generally speaking, when we did the spells throughout the film, nothing happened. They kind of added stuff in afterwards, sound effects and light, etc. But for the bathroom scene, they actually did rig up the whole thing with explosives, so every time you did Expelliarmus or something, a toilet would blow up, which was hugely rewarding after... so we added a few extra spells in that probably weren't in the script just for fun. So. Does that answer your question loosely? All right, thanks, my man. Appreciate it.
Good question. All right, Leonard.
First off, Mr. Felton, I just want to say,
You rock!
Crikey, you scared the life out of me. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That's very... I'll never tire of hearing that. Especially delivered in that fashion.
Thank you. Now, I'm just curious, before you worked on Rise of the Planets of the Apes, were you familiar with the original book and movies, or was it very new to you?
It was quite new to me, to be honest with you. My dad was a huge fan of the original films, so I'd kind of grown up watching them over his shoulder, but I knew of them more than I knew them now. So yeah, it was very exciting. I knew it was going to be something very different and very special, with Andy Serkis playing Caesar, and being a big fan of James Franco. Obviously, that was a dream come true. And to have some of the iconic, line from the previous films, to be able to say that was pretty exciting.
Was there a lot of pressure surrounding you saying
Yeah,
the Charlton Heston iconic line?
Yeah, oddly enough, I was going to say, most of the time, a lot of films, they have, tens of executive producers and co-executive producers, and you don't really know exactly what everyone does, and they're usually in their offices, not usually on set watching, but on the day of that line, everyone came out of the woodwork to stand around, and we did about 50 different versions of it, because they weren't sure whether it was going to be stepping on the toes of the old ones, so I was actually... I figured they would not use that. They would put something else in because it would be too cliche or something like that. But I was thrilled that they used it.
Yeah, you're so nasty about it.
Thanks, mate. You're welcome. You rock as well, by the way, dude.
Emily.
Hi, Emily.
Hello. So I just had a question again, kind of off Harry Potter. Back when you did Anna and the King with Louis Leon Owens, how is that taking such a known role at that young of an age?
I didn't have a clue what I was doing. Yeah. I mean, something is often missed. Even the first few Harry Potter films, we didn't know what we were doing. Yeah. We were just standing around and being told where to stand, and it felt like fun. It didn't feel like a job at all. So we didn't take it very seriously, and I was in Malaysia for 4 months with my mom, mostly complaining that I'm missing school and I want to go back and see my friends and stuff. So it's only really when you get a chance to look back at it that you realize how important it was and how much fun it was to work with those people. And I have great memories of doing it, and I'm a big fan of the film. I'm very pleased that someone else has seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, lovely.
Was Jodie Foster nice to work with?
She was amazing. I feel incredibly lucky that every person I've worked with has been very sweet. It's difficult with children. Even I'm noticing that now. Like working with kids is it's difficult because you can't make them feel like they're working,
right?
But also you can't let them feel like they can just do anything. So you try and find some middle ground. And she was really instrumental in keeping me calm when I needed to be, and also allowing me to be a kid and mess around when I should.
Yeah, I like to hear that. I like her as an actress. Okay, we've got Erin.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, Erin.
So I love you.
Thank you.
Me and my friend Sarah have been waiting to meet you for so long, and it's been on our bucket list. So we were just wondering, what's one thing on your bucket list that you really want to do before you die?
Cool.
Great question. I'm completely thrown. I don't know. I'm sure there's hundreds of things that I'd love to do. Off the top of my head, none of those answers come to me, I'm afraid. I'd love to do... I recently had a friend who... he took his kids out of school. He had 3 kids. He took them all out of school and spent a year traveling with his wife and his 3 kids. And literally went everywhere. They went on something like 150 flights and more or less saw every main country in the world and got them to show their kids that. I know that's a rather large thing to have on the bucket list, but it'd be pretty awesome to do a worldwide trip, to see everything that I haven't seen so far. Terrible answer, sorry.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you, lovely.
Is there a place that you haven't visited yet that you would love to go to?
Again, loads. Off the top of my head, Vietnam, Thailand. There's quite a lot of the east side of the planet that I haven't checked out yet. So lots of things to look forward to.
Cool. Okay, Dan.
First of all, Slytherin is my favorite team. You are my favorite character. Every house just lost the game.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Thanks.
Good man.
Anyways, did you get more satisfaction out of watching the movies or making the movies?
Oh, good question.
Definitely making them. Watching yourself is always a bit weird anyway. But making the films was... Actually, I tell a lie. As a kid, I'd much rather watch them than do them. They took a long time to shoot, sometimes 6 months for one film, or even longer than that if it was lots of special effects and stuff. So as a kid, all I wanted to do was go on the ski trip with the school, which of course I wasn't allowed to do any sort of thing remotely dangerous in fear that I'd come back with 2 broken legs. So at the time, it didn't particularly feel like the most fun thing to do. But now, much like I suppose looking back at your college years or your school years, I realized that every day was a real blast and a lot of fun.
Good question. And
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Perfect. And I believe we have Peyton next.
I have 2 questions.
Hit me, Peyton.
When you were filming Rise of the Planet of the Apes, was it weird not playing Draco Malfoy?
It was a bit, yeah. It's slightly strange not having bleach blonde hair. I mean, the characters, I suppose, in some regards, had a similar streak of nastiness. So yeah, that was weird. The weird part was being mean to animals. I'm a big animal lover, so the idea of being, not that actually there were any animals on set, but the idea of it was a pretty horrible notion.
All right.
What's the second part?
Can you do the ferret for us?
Hang on. I can't, I lied. It was special effects. Man, you've ruined it now. Everyone believes I had ferret powers.
Yeah, you lied.
Yeah, I do. I just can't do it outside of Hogwarts.
Oh, good answer.
Should have used that one the first
That's good. Okay, I believe it's Adia?
Hi.
Hello.
I was wondering what you'd like to do in your free time, because I follow you on Instagram and you post a lot of golf pictures.
Sorry, I know it's boring. I'm a shameful golfer. Yes, I enjoy it. A lot of my friends that I haven't seen for sort of 6 months back at home that I golf with, we don't get to speak that much because of time delays with California and England. So I put those pictures up just to rub it in that I'm golfing in better weather than they are, to be honest with you. But I love general outdoor activities and traveling and seeing new places. This is why I was looking forward to coming here for so long. Any excuse to walk my dog.
Yeah. Oh, we love you. Caitlin.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Marvelous.
Wonderful. I was wondering if you had the opportunity to play Draco Malfoy from a Harry Potter musical, would you take that kind of part?
I would, but I'd be terrible compared to Lauren. She really does take the biscuit as far as I think she should have actually played Malfoy in the real deal.
That would have been awesome.
Rolling around, right?
You guys could switch, do little scenes.
Yeah, if I'd known about this a few years ago, maybe we could have done that for a few scenes. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
No, I love all that. Like I say, all the creation that's going to come stemmed off from Harry Potter is a wonderful thing. Even the crazy and the wild and wacky world of fan fiction, it's always a lot of fun.
Cool.
Thanks.
Thank you, lovely.
All right, Amy.
Hi.
Hi, Amy.
So, since you hadn't read the books when you auditioned for the part, what was your first impression of the series?
Cool.
I was a slow burner, actually. I know a lot of people read the first few chapters and were kind of instantly sucked into that world. I took a little longer. I guess I wasn't a very unimaginative child, but it was the second book. I vividly recall being halfway through Chamber of Secrets going, oh my God, this is awesome. So that was definitely a key memory of it. I mean, in a way, of course, I did familiarize myself with all the stories through the scripts. In fact, I asked Chris Columbus quite early on, should I read the books before reading the scripts? And he was quite keen to say, no, there's no reason why you should. It's the same story, the same premise as such. And actually, in a way, by not knowing the books as well as some of the other people, it kind of kept it fresher for the film, because I wasn't thinking about things that had been cut out or bits and pieces that weren't going to be in it. So I was a big fan, but a slightly late bloomer with that. I know Ivana Lynch was very upset with me that I wasn't a die-hard fan as early as some.
Thank you.
Thanks, lovely.
All right, I believe right after it's Ruthie. Do we have a Ruthie? Oh, back there we are.
Hi, Ruthie.
Hi. I was just wondering if you ever had a crush on one of your Harry Potter co-stars?
Ooh.
Emma.
Can I say Hagrid again? I actually did. I don't usually talk about it, but I did have a bit of a crush as a young Malfoy with my auntie. Helena Bonham Carter has something about her which is electric. I don't know what it is. It's just the way she holds herself, and her character as Bella was really really intoxicating to watch. So. Yeah, I had a little secret crush on her, making sure Tim Burton didn't find out about it. Yeah, she's great.
That's awesome. John.
Hi, I'm up here.
Hey, John.
Just first, before I ask my question, I just want to commend you on having a life of being wonderfully evil. Because I'm an actor too, and I usually get cast as bad guys, so I understand.
It's a lot more fun, right?
Yeah, it's so fun.
Thank you.
But my question is, when making the movies, what was your favorite blooper or gag or like flub you had on set? Was that like giving Alan Rickman whiplash, or was it a different thing?
That was a pretty good one, yeah. They didn't happen all that often. I know Rupert who plays Ron, had a real problem with laughing. and it's one of those classic scenarios where, you know, you're told you can't laugh now. And then immediately he'd start laughing, and we'd be 10, 15 takes in. And it's funny the first few times, but then after sort of a dozen takes, and they've burnt a hell of a lot of money doing it, they start looking at him going, Rupert, seriously, we need you to... So in the end, in fact, we had a red card system where if your phone went off or you disrupted any take in any way, you had to put £10 into the bucket. And I'm pretty sure Rupert got close to 2,000 quid that year. And it all went to charity at the end. Sorry, I didn't say. It was all for a charitable cause. And yeah, he put half of his wages in there, I think, over the years. We had a fun one with the McGonagall's classroom. Don't quote me. Is it Transfiguration? Is that right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm here. Yeah.
And we all had strange animals in front of us to be working on, and Goyle, who was sitting next to me, Josh Herman, he had a millipede the size of my forearm. We were all pretty terrified of it. And so yeah, lots of prodding that with the wand, which cracked me up no end. We also had a monkey in a cage who was doing things that he shouldn't be doing. So yeah, there was lots of laughing and lots of stern words from the director saying, Tom, we really need you to shut up now. And just... So yeah, that was always fun.
That's awesome. Kristen?
Chrissa.
Oh, Chrissa.
Hey, Chrissa.
Hi. So I grew up reading the Harry Potter books and creating this image of what each character looked like and express themselves. And I have to say, you did a wonderful job playing Draco Malfoy.
That really means a lot. I think I speak for all the cast when we said we were terrified that we knew that people were going to have such vivid images of what the characters would not only look like, but how they would sound and how they would react in situations. And we were all very keen to find out, not just if the films are any good, but if fans liked our interpretation of the characters. So to hear that is music to my ears.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. How was it building that character for yourself?
A lot of fun, and something that I think I didn't realize I was doing it as I was doing it, to be honest with you. It's only as the years go on, and it was nice because around the third film, fourth film, the directors would start turning to you and saying, do you think you'd be sitting or standing? Or so it was cool then to be like, no, he'd definitely be sitting. And you know, would he be involved in certain situations? Be like, definitely not. You know, he was very. It was a lot of fun to be able to have that much control over it. In a weird way, because bear in mind the lines, the dialogue and the action can't be changed at all. I mean, since working on other films after that, I've learned that, you know, you can improvise, you can make things up, you can change bits and pieces, but naturally, because the text was so strong and the stories were so great from the start, we had to really stick with what we had. So I think that helped in creating him. But thanks a lot for saying that about Draco. That means a lot.
Yeah, no, of course.
All right, so we have about 5 minutes left, so we'll try to get through as many people as possible in that time.
I'm a huge fan of the Canadian accent, by the way. I didn't say that.
I know.
It's so beautiful.
We're a huge fan of your accent.
Oh, well,
are you kidding me?
I haven't really spent that much time around it, and it's very intoxicating. I love it.
Oh, okay. Shannon.
Hi. So in Deathly Hallows Part 2, was the hug with Voldemort as awkward as it looked?
No, it was 10 times more awkward, wouldn't you? People don't realize this about the hug. It wasn't in the script. We did that thing like 100 times. He only hugged me once, and it came out of nowhere, and I was like, what the hell is he doing? But it's, not only is it Voldemort, it's Ralph Fiennes. You don't stop him in the middle of it. My amazing bit was that they used it. We did 99 other versions where he just sort of either put his hand on my shoulder or did nothing, just looked at me, and for some reason they went with the hug. Another funny thing about the hug is in the English premiere when we watched it, it was a really chilling moment. It was almost like an ooh. People were very quiet, they didn't know how to react. Skip to 24 hours later in North America, and people just burst out laughing. So it's quite interesting to watch different audiences have that moment. But yeah, I've had a lot of questions about the iconic Voldy hug. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who lived to tell the tale. And in case you're wondering, he's a terrible hugger.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Awesome, good question.
Thanks, lovely.
Dante?
I was just wondering, because I'm just starting to act, would you have any advice?
Sure. Do it because you love it. People ask me that all the time, and if you want to be a songwriter, what do you do in your spare time? You write songs because it's fun. Some people think like, oh, I want to be an actor, and it's like, well, do you act? And they're like, no. Well, then why do you want to be it? Because it's not much fun when you're up there repeating yourself a dozen times unless you really, really enjoy it. And there's lots of perks that go with it, but there are lots of things that aren't necessarily great as well. So you have to do it because you love to do it. So I'm always keen to say that. I remember vividly as a obnoxious 6-year-old just repeating Jim Carrey quotes in the mirror, which looking back at it must have been terrible. But it was fun. Yeah. I did it because it was fun. I watched The Mask.
I was going to say The Mask or Liar Liar.
The Mask 100 times, and just kept laughing and repeating what I'd seen. And I think subsequently that has helped me with doing things like American accents and stuff. But have fun with it. Go crazy and enjoy it.
Cool.
Thanks, mate.
Okay.
I'll see you on the big screen in a few years, I hope.
Yeah. We have Adam.
Hello.
Hey, Adam.
So, I just wanted to get a perspective from the celebrity. A lot of people, I don't know if you feel like we're a bunch of freaks showing up. We're not just here because you're attached to a famous franchise, but a lot of us are really impressed with your work as an actor. I want to get your opinion. How do you see yourself as an artist? Do you recognize the work that you've done as being contributing to the world of art, or is it just a job that you've done?
Honestly, some of the times it varies from one project and one character to the next. As a kid, it was just a fun job. It wasn't. I definitely didn't consider myself as an artist, or I'm laughing at the thought of saying that. It was just, some kids were good at football, some kids were good at this, and I was good at standing on the X and remembering lines. So it didn't feel like anything artistic, to be honest, or anything incredibly artistic, to be honest with you. I had more artistic fun writing music or painting pictures and so forth. And since sort of growing up a bit and working with so many great actors, you learn how much of a craft it is, and you see people who are good at it, and it's phenomenal. So I'm very grateful to be spoken about in a similar breath to that. And just touching on what you said at the beginning about a bunch of freaks, that's definitely not the case. One of the reasons why I love doing these things so much is I get so many people saying thank you for being part of my childhood.
Yeah.
And I haven't met this person, and yet we've grown up together in a weird way. And my whole deal is to remind every one of you that I'm not here without you guys. Yeah. That people think that we signed up for 7 or 8 films. Like, seriously, it's really important. I can speak on behalf of all the casts when I say that, because every year they said, do you want to come back and do another film? It was purely based on your reaction to going to midnight screenings and just talking about, well, I love you too. Don't, you're going to get me all teary. But seriously, it means the world to us and me, and it's great I can finally be here to thank you all personally.
Look forward to seeing more of your work.
Thanks, mate. I really appreciate it.
Tom, you were so worth the wait and more. So thank you so much for being here. Such a pleasure. And you're just so nice and you're awesome. We love you as Draco and everything else that you're doing, and Murder in the First. Cannot wait. If you guys haven't seen the trailer online for the new show, it looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm in the last episode of it now, and it's like no one else have ever done. And the character, Eric Blunt, is just as enjoyable, if not more so, than Draco. So I think you guys will get a good kick out of him.
Awesome. Thank
you so much for having me, guys. I'm sorry to make you wait 3 years for it, but I really, really appreciate every one of you. Thank you. The festival.
Thanks so much, guys.